Hello, loves. So you want to have a mat, and the less sticky the mat, the better. So Lululemon is a really great non-sticky mat. Jade tends to be a non-sticky mat. So if that's an option, if you have more than one, just keeping an eye out for a non-sticky mat and 2 blocks, a blanket, and your ball. And you're great. You are great. We'll give it a minute. We will give it a minute to let everyone arrive, to gather and assemble yourself. If you choose, I can find it. If you choose, I have a diffuser going. If you're an essential oils user, then what I have in there right now, 4 drops of balance, 4 drops of peppermint. Oh, it's dark up here. There we go. You can't even see it here. 4 drops of balance and 4 drops of peppermint. If you are an oils user and you want to put that in your diffuser, super juicy to add a little bit, another dimension. Suki's getting all warmed up, ready to go. So the impetus for this was just that I was aware of other things that I tend to add to the mix of my practice, and I wanted to share that out. And in particular, as we were working in March and as we were offline, people would ask me questions about Mula Bandha or about tension in the low body and an inability to really sort of find what I was talking about. And I thought, we really should address this more fully because it's quite important. It's the part of us that's holding on for dear life is the best way to describe this. So as we start, you're just going to tune in for a moment, not our Kundalini tune in, but just sitting tall, giving ourselves a moment that everything we ask of ourselves, we are trying. We want to show up. We want to do well. We want to avoid pain and suffering, and we want to expand our light. And these are such admirable qualities. Roll your shoulders, shake your hands. May it be so. The trick is, and here's where we're going to begin. I want you to have one hand free. And in that hand, you're placing something about your life that you really want to go well. Not in this moment, but long term. And it could be, graduating from college. It could be, for me, I'm going to put being a parent and being a great mom in that hand. Something that has some duration to it, okay? And into that hand, now I so want to be a great mother. Maybe you want to be a great worker. Maybe you want to be a great daughter. Maybe you want to be a great lover. And it's something that you've got, and you absolutely aspire to this, and you can feel it. And you've put your aspiration there, and you've put your focus there. And as you do that, don't just listen to me, put it in your hand. I can feel the tension building in my hand. And it's a good, I want to be a good mother, right? However, I am building tension in my hand. And now I'm having a little bit of a difficult day. I want you to get a little bit of a difficult day in your hand. And that hand is beginning to generate tension through my forearm. I'm beginning to feel it through my shoulder, and I'm starting to feel it in my neck, because this is a very familiar thing, this grip. I so wish the best for my children. I so want to show up for them in a way that they admire when they look back to this time together. And all that is in my hand. And all that hand is in my neck. And all that hand is in my jaw. Let go. Open your hand and feel the flush of energy through your arm, through your shoulder, and through your jaw. Our normal life can get caught in that aspiration. Everything about me is good. It's a good aspiration. I want to do well, and it's caught up. So I want to begin to feel you are holding that same sensation in your low body. Many of us have chronic back issues. Many of us have tension in the hips. This is really a place where when we start to let that go, I have a hand that is free to make meals, to administer Band-Aids, to create balance. I need dexterity to create the life as a mother that I truly seek. I need to be brave enough to open my hand. So this is how we begin. We're going to start in the feet, which will be standing in no ball. And from the feet, we're going to come up and then come right onto the ball through the backs of the legs. And you'll feel a flush. We're going to move all the way through. Little bits of yoga, little bits of the ball. You'll absolutely end with a completely changed sensation of who you are at your center, so that you can achieve that which you're holding on to try to get to. We're going to just let it through. Good things, good things. Let me just double check that everything is right way around before we power on. Give me a thumbs up. Aaron, yes, it will be fun. Josie, awesome. Nobody's saying that we're the wrong way around. Fantastic. Always good to check. Set your things aside for now. And so to come into our feet, I want you to lift your toes as high as they can go and rock. Lifting your toes, you'll lift the balls of your feet and you'll come onto your heels. And then you'll rock under the balls of your feet onto the pads of your toes, and you're going to just roll up and down. Now, your goal as you do this is to begin to spread your foot from the base of your big toe to the base of the little toe. And just keep going. You're going to start to feel a little bit of fire in the calves. Keep going, rise and fall. And then we're going to stay up on the tiptoes, stay. And walk around a little bit. And put your feet back down. We're going to add the hands. Inhale, hands up, heels up. And then hands down, heels down. Lift your toes. And just roll your way up from the heels to your hands, opening your navel, find your balance, and then set it down. And again, roll up. Good, good, good. Heels up, and down. And see if two more. We're going to inhale. You can get your breath a little higher. Opening the abdomen, hold your breath in at the top. And then set it down. Hopefully there's some wobbling. The wobbling is going to activate your feet. Go one more. Open the abdomen, hold the breath in. And then exhale, hands down, heels down. Good. Open and close your toes one at a time like fists. Good. Step to the top of your mat and just turn your left foot to step back and your right knee can straighten to start. Palms will face forward. Your heels are on two separate lines. My right foot is pointing straight to 12 o'clock. My back heel is slightly in and my left toe is pointing about, let's say, 10 o'clock, right? As you bend your front knee, lift your hands and lean out. So my hands, shoulders, heels, one line, and then hands down, stand up tall. This is breathing out, and this is breathing in. And exhale, stand. Now, as you continue, anchor the back heel into the floor and feel the stretch through your outer heel, through your calf, Inhale, reaching, lengthen your spine. Exhale, stand. Inhale, reach. Exhale, stand. Now grow longer out of your back foot, all the way out, and pause a beat. Sweep your hands wide and fold over that front thigh. Fingertips find the floor. We're going to reverse out. Inhale up. Good. And exhale, hands down. Drop your head. Lift your head, lift your hands, drop into your back heel. And then hands wide, roll down, head down. Go one more like that, rising up. And straighten the front leg, standing. So changing legs, the left foot steps up, your right foot steps back. Straighten the front leg, your left toes are pointing straight ahead, your right toes are pointing out to 2 o'clock. Hands are down, palms face forward, square your hips, bend your front knee and inhale as you extend. Exhale, stand. Anchor into your heel, keep that anchor and reach. Opening your right calf and stand. And inhale, reach all the way out. Keep the whole sole of your foot on the floor. Go once more, square the hips, reach through the hands. Keep this, hands wide and fold your ribs over your thigh, finger toward the floor. Inhale, back up, lengthen. And then exhale, fold wide. Head falls, back heel on the floor, rising up through the back leg. Square the hips, last time, fold. Good. And rise up. Pause a beat. Hands down, straighten the front leg, square the hips, open the pelvis. Come to stand. So we'll come straight onto the ball. Here is my purple ball. And I will now come to a seat, and the ball is under my right hip. So all you need to do is be able to sit with your right hip, your butt cheek on that ball, right? That means your right leg goes out and your left foot is under your heel, your knee. And you simply roll forward and roll back and roll forward and roll back. And begin to find that there's this soft, wide pressure. You don't go all the way to the back of your knee. Pause right before you get to your knee. And then roll through to the back of your hip. That simple. And once you've found that through your leg, I want you to begin to use your abdominal muscles. On your exhalation, draw back, drawing the belly into the body. On your inhalation, lift your heart and start to open through the whole length of your chest. And it's a soft pressure. So at first we think, well, it can't be doing that much. We go one more. Open. Good. Bring it back. Put your right foot flat. Set the ball under your left hip. So left butt cheek. Left leg extends. Keep it off the floor. And then you roll yourself back and you roll yourself forward. If you try to do it on a carpet, it's very likely that the ball will stick. If you have a t-shirt on, the t-shirt tends to roll under the ball. So adjust whatever you need to in your circumstance so that it works out. And begin to add your breathing. Inhale, reaching, open the chest. Exhale, draw your navel back. Inhale, open. And exhale, draw back. Good, good, good. So we're actually massaging the whole length of the hamstring, but we're also beginning to move through the inner organs, this rinsing quality. Go one more time. Yeah. Good. And then just sitting down to the mat, legs shake out, sitting tall, in through the nose, out through the mouth 3 times. Inhale. Shake out the jaw. We're going to add the tongue in the mouth, in the nose. Stick your tongue out and out the mouth. Navel to spine, one more in the nose. All the way out. Anytime you can, you loosen your knees, you loosen your jaw, you set yourself up. Widen your seat and set the ball right in front of you, and then hop up on top. Okay? So now my heels are wide, and wide is very relative. They can be here. If you need to, you have a bend in your knees, which is fantastic. Keep it safe. If you need to, you can have blocks. So step one, the blocks are in front of you, and your hands are on the blocks. And you can point one toe, bend that knee, flex the other foot. Point the other, and begin to move yourself a little bit side to side. And you'll start to feel the ball along the sits bones where you would sit on a chair, and the pelvic floor, which would be in the space in between. And then both feet flex, and now point and draw yourself a little forward. Flex your feet and roll yourself a little bit back. Point your toes. And so I know that I drive an automatic car. And when I have been in the car a long time, I'm driving using my right foot, and my left foot is not active at all. And so see if you can feel, are my feet able to move equally? Left foot, right foot. So you are right in the calf, but you're also rolling on the ball forward and back. And as you roll forward, you're finding the length through the inner thighs. And as you roll back, you're finding length right through the soles of your feet. If you can, hands behind you. And again, start to inhale as you point. Exhale as you roll a little bit back. Inhale and exhale. As you do this, you begin to make a little bit of a change that suits you. If it needs to be wider, make it wider. If it needs to be more narrow, make it narrow. We're going 3, all the way out into the very tips of your toes. 2. And I know I can feel my left foot does not equal my right. And then pause tall. Good, good. Good, good. Walk your hands forward. If the blocks help you, blocks are great. Fold your right foot in and find the top of your right foot to the floor as you put your knee down. If need be, your foot is a little further out. And a little bend in the left knee as needed. If you have a bend in your left knee, I'm going to ask that you pop a block or a towel or a blanket underneath just so you don't hyperextend your knee. And then we'll take the left hand to the left shin and the right hand high, and you can reach over the top and then come up tall. We're going to inhale as we reach over, expand into that right rib, and exhale, sit up tall. So each of these movements we want to do 8 to 10 times. And as you fold, you're still exploring the left inner thigh, the length of your outer right rib. Inhaling up over, close your eyes, 5, 4. See if you can absolutely reach into your fingertips right from your outer right hip, 3. All the way through the left inner thigh to the left inner heel, 2. And what we want to do is affect not just the body, but the breath. And this is opening your intercostal muscles, the spaces between your ribs, up under the edge of the diaphragm. Let's change sides. So the right foot now opens out to the right, and the left heel comes in, perhaps the top of your left foot to the floor. If it doesn't reach, you can also place a blanket underneath your edge of your shin. Or, again, if your knee is bent, give yourself a little support so you don't put any pressure in the back of your knee. I'll keep it so you can see. Right hand on the thigh, on the shin, left hand up over. Oh, good God. And close your eyes. And the goal here is really to begin to feel the sensation of that fist opening. Our aspiration to be all that we seek to be. What if we made a little space in that aspiration and we trusted we were already on our way? Inhale over, exhaling up, inhaling over. And it just takes time, and it doesn't seem sometimes like an enormous activity, and yet the payoff, really, that's what we're looking for. One more. And we pause. Just starting to feel the sides of your body, the change in your seat, and we'll get to the outer hips. So if I sit with my right outer hip on the ball, I cross my left foot in front. Okay? So maybe the easiest way is to sit on your right hip and put your left foot in front of you so you're not dealing with the ball at first. And then lifting your hip, put the ball under your right hip, and the left foot is flat. Again, you can have a hand on your thigh, or blocks are really great so that you can use that block for stability. And now I'm going to roll the outer hip all the way to the mid-thigh and then all the way to the outer hip. And I'm using my left foot to steer, and I'm using my low abdomen to anchor into my left heel, and then I'm rolling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So the hands are working, the navel is working, the left foot is working, and the whole outer right hip is flushed. Yeah, go one more time. Find your way. There's a lot of surface there that you can explore. I'm going to do one more. And then back up. And we change sides. You may simply face the other side of your mat, however it's easiest for you. So the way we set up before, I came to my left outer hip and I put my right foot in front. Take my ball, hop up, and land with my left hip on the ball. If needed, add a block in front. Give yourself a little height. Your right foot is your engine. And you begin to roll, so you can see, to the mid-thigh. The ball's right here. And then the ball is up over my outer hip. And so all of these muscles can grow tight, and that can create tension. Or all of these muscles can be inactive as we drive, as we sit in our office, in our chair, and that inactivity breeds restlessness. And so the tension in the body, that closure, can lead to depression, can lead to illness. It's limiting our breath. And the restlessness can create anxiety. So when we're rolling through here, we're rolling through some of the largest sheets of fascia, of connective tissue that we possess. And that's how we are connected to ourselves. One more. So the inner thigh is working, the low abdomen is working, and I'm coming up to a seat. Good. I'm going to make downward facing dog. So set your block or your ball where it can't roll away. And bring our hands down, knees down, hips high. I know we have a lot of different levels. And I want you to begin to notice a change in your legs, a change then in the diaphragm, in the ease of your breathing. And we'll do what's called a moon salutation right here, just to start to feel out where we're at. Let the hips be side to side. Let the head turn side to side. And take your time. Knees come down to the floor. Bring your hips to your heels in a child's pose. You'll slide your hands back towards your heels and lift yourself up and lift your hands high. So these are calming moon flow, hands down, lunar. Slide yourself forward and just let the hips open and the heart high, wag the tail. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Let your right foot step up between your hands. Let the left knee come down if you need to. Blocks under your hands. I'm just going to rise up, hands wide. And then the hands come down. Step your left foot up to the right. Knees soft, hands wide, reach up tall. And the back, go back the way you came. Knees bend, hands down. Right foot steps back now, right knee down, hands wide, rise up. And then hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Draw yourself to a high plank. Bring your knees to the floor, fold to child. Bring your hands back to your heels, lift your heart, lift your head, lift your hands, inhale up. We repeat and fold forward. Draw yourself forward, heart opens. Down dog, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Now the left foot steps up and the right knee goes down. Sweep wide, rise tall, open into your body and hands wide and step your right foot up, lengthen, fold. Hands wide, sit down, thumbs up, heart up, stand up tall. And then back down, knees bend, hands wide to the floor. Left foot steps back, left knee down, and sweep wide. And set down. And down dog. Good, 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 good. Knees down to the floor. Fold to your child. And one more time, hands back, heart up, hands up. Inhale, follow your breath, follow your body, fold down. Good. Hands to the floor, draw yourself forward, heart up. Tuck toes down dog. Right foot steps up, left knee down. And sweep wide. Heart up. And hands down. Step the left foot up, lengthen out. And fold in. Hands wide, sit down, thumbs up, heart up, stand up. Down the way we came, sit down, hands down. Right foot steps back, right knee down, two hands up. And two hands down. Stepping back, downward facing dog. High plank. Knees to the floor. Fold back. Good. Hands to your heels. Now rise up tall. So if you rise to your knees, we will call this a very modified butterfly. So our knees are down. Your feet are flat behind you. You can even have your toes in a little bit. And you want to find a circle in your seat. A circle through the hips. And we're starting high. Now see if you can send your seat back and a little lower. And that will ask a lot more of your hips and go gently into what you can do. So seat back all the way to the periphery of the circle that your hips can make. Make two more circles. Explore this. So if you don't want to have to replace your hips, you need to find their circularity, reverse. So start tall, and then begin to deepen into your seat. Begin to deepen all the way back. And you'll feel all the places through the inner thigh, the hip crease, the outer hip, all the ways in which you're a little bit sticky. And it might be very, very small, and that's fantastic that you started it. So the goal of this is a little bit as you can, then side to side. And now what we'll do is we're going to put the ball right here at the hip crease, right where my shirt sort of meets my pants. And we'll do each side. And then we'll come back and we'll deepen that butterfly with the ball. And you'll be able to feel the progress that you made. So hands and knees. The right leg goes back, and the right side is the side that gets the ball. So I have the ball just inside the right hip crease, and I'm on the ball of my back foot, my right foot. Now my left knee comes out and down, and my hands are down, either forearms or fingertips. You choose. And you roll forward and back through that right hip crease, keeping the back leg softly elevated, or use the ball of your foot. So inhale as your body comes forward, and exhale as you go back. Now you explore feeling, where is this tight? I tend to make a little bit of an oval, that on my way back, I'm at the outer edge of my hip crease, and on the way up, I'm on my inner. You have a lot of surface area that you can explore, but you're on the right side. If your body had a line from your pubis to your sternum, you're on the right side on that hip. One more time. And this is an enormous release. Stay. Now tiny forward and back. You can put your forearms down, stay on the ball of your foot, and just small enough that you can go forward and back and work a little closer to the pubic bone and then a little closer to your hip joint. And then we change sides, hands and knees. So 2 knees down. Let the ball come under the left hip. Take your right knee wide and set yourself down. So now I'm at the right hip crease. I have the ball of my left foot to catch me as I go back. And my right knee is wide, and my right knee is on the floor, and it allows me to keep rolling. See if I can find this tiny little oval, that it's not just up and back, a straight line, but that I'm exploring the space between the pubic bone and the left hip, and the space just outside the left hip. We hold a tremendous fold there for most of the day. As we sit, that creates tremendous block right there. Go 3, go 2, and then keeping the ball of your foot on the floor, small, forward and back, just little smaller, really getting into the spots that feel tight or unfamiliar. Good, good, good. One more. Good. Hands and knees. We're going to come up. And before we return to butterfly, we rinse the back of that movement. So if I sit tall and I cross my right ankle over my left knee, I'm going to put the ball underneath my right hip and cross ankle over knee, and then roll on the right side from the back of my hip all the way up into the low back. Oh. Again, making a little circle if you choose, or simply rolling. On your forward rolls, you go towards your front heel. That's your breath out, and you're inhaling, coming back up. So if you can begin to add your breath and your body. So my arms are working, my abdomen is working, and I'm opening through the low back. Changing sides means the ball goes under my left hip, and the ankle of my left foot is over my right knee. And now forward and back and little circles, exploring the connection between the back of your hip and your low back, the left side of your sacrum, the way in which your back body connects to the hip girdle. Continue to breathe out. Good. And one more. So feet down, off the ball, rebuilding our butterfly. Ready? So most modified would be 2 blocks down. Adam will do this after a big mountain bike ride. He has broken head off his femur skiing and has had many orthopedic surgeries, so his hip is really tender. However, if you put this and then you put the ball behind you, and you can sit down, now my feet flatten out and my shins are down, and I can find a forward and back and a little circle. And now I have the flush of the pelvic floor right here. So it's good. This height is accessible for me. If you'd like to stay. If you want to feel what it's like without the blocks, which means that my toes are going to come in so that my legs are wide, my toes are pointing in, And now I'm finding those circles, or even just side to side. Right? Imagine that you could loosen your arms. You can even put your hands up overhead, allowing your hips and your pelvis to have far more mobility. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Good. Undo your pose to build your dog. Set your block aside for a moment and find downward facing dog. Feeling the length all the way down the hamstring to the heels to the feet. Letting your feet be heavy, your legs dropping out of the pelvis into the floor, the turn of the chin. And then knees to the floor. Knees to the floor. Walk your feet forward to come to lie down on your back and put the block between your knees. Hands on thighs, lightly press away and just feel a little bit of space in the pelvis and in the legs. And just check in for a moment, actually. Take the ball, and hold the ball aside. Let your legs go long, your heels wide. Shake out your feet. Let your knees be loose. Knees up and down, feet side to side. Relaxing your body for a moment and just feel the circulation and the change. Allow your breathing to settle further down as though your breath was seeking the pelvis, as though your breath was trying to get into your hips. I can feel that my legs are heavier and more at ease. There's a more complete rest and stillness, even as there's more circulation. And this is what we're headed for. We'll go now to open the points between the hips so that from the navel to the pubic bone is a line down. And from the right hip to the left hip to the right, we've made a cross right there. That's where we're headed. We want to both be strong, but also to let go. So putting the block between your knees, feet down, heels a little wider. On your exhalation, you just hold the block. It'll tip your tail. And as you hold the ball, feel that cross right where the hips cross the line from the navel. That is active and drawn down into the body. Keep it. And then soften as you inhale, let that space open. And on your exhalation, knees squeeze the ball, your tail lifts so slightly, and you find the intersection of those lines and it is active and strong. Keep it. And then inhale as you relax. Do it 3 more times. Exhaling, hold the ball, navel to spine. And then inhale, release. Open more, open more, open more, open more. Exhale, hold the ball, squeeze, find the intersection of those points, gather, 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 and then release. And now do it more softly. Just gather into that point and then release. Adding the arms. On the exhale, your hands are down beside you. On your inhale, your hands are overhead, release. On your exhale, your hands are down beside you. Hold the ball. This time the hips up, hands up. So hips come up, inhaling right to the tops of your shoulders. And on the exhale, bringing your hands down, hold the block, gather to the navel. Inhale, hands overhead, 6.
Exhale, hands down, hold the block. If you know Mula Bandha, start to build that now. I'll add it on in a moment. Inhale, hands up. Lengthen from your pubic bone to your heart and then gather. Keep the breath out. Lift the pelvic floor. You're going to find where your inner thighs meet. And then inhale, hands overhead, relaxing the legs. Exhale, think about where your inner thighs meet like two elevator doors. Bring that together, bring it up towards the intersection point, and release all of that, hands overhead. And one more, hands down. The pelvic floor gathers. It lifts toward the intersection point of hips and navel, and hands stay down. Inhale, feel space. More space, more space, more space. On your exhalation, gather. Lightly hold the ball, the intersection point. Imagine bringing those elevator doors together and up. Keep it all. We might be living like that all the time. Inhale, release everything. Exhale, gather. Now imagine you're gathering the front and the back of the hips and the inner thighs and the lower belly, no navel. And then inhale, release. Exhale, gather, softer, like a bud on a rosebud. And then inhale, let it open. And no ball, and no ball. Exhale, gathering. And inhale, opening. Let your knees wash side to side. Let your knees wash side to side. So hopefully you can start to feel that on the exhalation, when we gather the ball between the knees, we gather the point between the navel and the pubic bone, the left hip and the right hip, where they cross, that point, and where our pelvic floor meets, it all gathers together in a little tight knot. And then on the inhale, it opens like a flower, opening wide. Turn right over onto your belly. And we'll add the ball just at the pubic bone. So now the ball is just between, a little lower than my hip points. And now the tuck of my toes, I rock a little forward and a little bit back. I don't go higher than my hips. I stay on the pubic bone, but now I'm deep in the abdomen, way down deep below the belly button, and a little bit forward and a little bit back. Inhale as you come forward, and now the breath goes out, 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 out as you roll towards the navel. Inhale as you roll yourself forward. Exhale the ball toward the navel. Oh. I have endometriosis, so I have tissue in the wrong place that holds all the lower organs, like my ovaries are bonded to my pelvis. And when I can do this movement, I start to have some freedom in my body, in my low belly, in the very depth of my breath. I can feel it. Back up enough that your knees can come down. Oh, and your heels now side to side. And find the inner sides of the pelvis, just below the belly button, side to side. It may not be easy. Take your time. Be kind and soft. This is why you want a squishy ball. 3, 2, 1. Good, good, good. Ha. Child's pose. Set your knees back. And pause. And breathe into the belly. Drop your head. Inhaling, you're filling exactly where the ball was, way deep in your abdomen. Make space, and it opens your low back, it opens your mid back, it opens your shoulders, and you empty it all out, gathering, gathering, gathering into that point, and then letting it all go. Rising up, we make space for the diaphragm. For the diaphragm. For this, we need a block at the top edge of the mat. And we sit on the seat, and the ball will go behind you, right in the middle of the chest, like at the line of your bra strap, if you had one, or if you had a heart monitor, it would go along that heart monitor, and the back of your head can rest on the block. If you'll forgive my pause, I can feel from my pubic bone all the way to the underside of my diaphragm has a completely different level of space. You may work here, turn your palms down, which will open the upper back. You may widen your heels, drop your knees in. And you're bringing your breath into your belly and you're softening your inner thighs. And you're softening the aspirations that cause you to grip. So simple, will I be late, can cause us to contract. And so you find the contraction, you find the exhalation, the point where the line from the navel to the pubis and the point across between the hips where that meets, you contract there. On the exhalation, it gathers. And on the inhalation, it opens. And you feel the sensation of elevator doors closing between your thighs and then between front and back. So they're coming from the sides and they're coming from the front. And all that gathers up towards the intersection. That's your exhale. And then all of that opens. That's the inhale. So if you can feel yourself gather front to back, side to side, wrapping entirely to pause, a condensation of energy, and then this release. Because what it is we have power in the base body. Let the legs go out long if you can. Shake out the feet side to side, the knees up and down. Adjust your seat so you're seated down into the floor, the heart high. And now let the breath get bigger and longer from the backs of your legs in the floor to the heart up high on the ball. The inhale, a sense of expanse, and slowly on the exhale, a sense of gathering. We don't mean to hold on. We're powerful when we gather there. We're stable, but then we need to learn to let it go. Open. The legs release, the breath opens. Find your rhythm of breath. We're here for 30 more seconds. So that the inhalation is all the way opening to the knees and the chest and the fingers. And the exhalation is gathering down into the body. Pausing. And then inhale, open. And then exhale, gather, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2. Pause, 1, 2. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, gather, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, normal breathing. Staying open. Walk your elbows in to come out. Elbows down, chin up, elbows down, heart up. And we're going to finish turning over one more time on the belly. Whew. I can feel such a change. This time, before the ball was right down between the hip points. Now we're going to bring the ball a little bit higher. What happens is that the ball presses into the viscera, into the inner organs, and it's going to constrain the movement of your diaphragm so that when you breathe in, it will begin to open the low lungs, the mid back, and the top collarbones, right? Because ordinarily when you inhale, the diaphragm drops down into your inner organs. But now we're going to limit that movement and drive the breath to flush out the upper back and collarbones. Perfect. So breath right on your navel. Oh, tuck your toes under. You can hear, right? And a lot of this is tension in my diaphragm. Little forward, which rolls me to just below my navel, and a little back, which rolls me up towards my sternum. It's small. Inhale as your body comes forward. Exhale as the ball comes up towards the chest. Inhale forward. Exhale a little bit back. And I want you to absolutely close your eyes and melt over that ball. Inhale coming forward. Exhale, empty, empty, empty. Inhale coming forward. All your concern, melt it out. And stay back and a little side to side. Bending the knees, I let my heels wash side to side. It is not necessarily a comfortable experience. Not the first one, not the second one. But what I'm doing is I am releasing the tension. My diaphragm is a muscle. And I can hold that muscle too tightly over time. Go one more side to side. Drop your hips one side. Drop your hips to the other side. Perfect. Take your ball and come to lie on your back and set the ball aside for a jiffy. And just feel through the length of your body. Feet side to side, the knees up and down, loosen the legs. Release the grip of your hips. That in yogic philosophy, the diaphragm is the first ceiling. From the diaphragm down towards the feet is the base body energy, the lower triangle energy. It's where we're very practical. Our mortal, our finite life, our safety, our family, our shelter, our work, our money, our ability, our physical well-being, financial well-being, our place in the world. All of those are so easy to hold. And here I ask you to open. Notice anywhere through the hips, the low back, the belly, even the legs or the feet, where is any holding residing? Make any adjustment you need to rest easily on your back. And then let your eyes close, and we're going to find a breath with the mind. So in your mind, find the line from your pubic bone to your navel. On your exhalation, that line draws towards the floor. We felt it before, it gathers. On the inhale, fill that line with inhalation. Let it expand. On your exhale, from pubic bone to navel, exhale there. Inhale, refill it. A little gather, a little pause, and then inhale, let it open. We'll do that 4 times, exhaling from the pubic bone to the navel. Inhaling to release. Add the gathering of the pelvic floor, the sensation of the inner thighs meeting, anus, sex organs gathering in and up, pausing, empty, and then releasing all of it. 1 more breath like that. Exhale, gathering, lifting the anus, the sex organs towards the intersection, pausing, gathering that grip, and releasing it all. We'll find the exhalation now from the navel to the chest. So we'll do that in 2 parts. It'll be a 4-count exhalation. The first 2 counts, we'll do the low abdomen from pubic bone to navel. Exhale that you know. The next 2 counts from the navel to the heart. Exhale there. Inhale, fill the chest. 2. Inhale, fill the navel to pubic bone. Exhale, 1, 2 to navel. Exhale, 1, 2 to heart. Inhale, 1, 2 the chest. Inhale, 1, 2 the pelvis. Exhale, 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2. Inhale, chest. Inhale, hips. Exhale, hips. Exhale, chest. Yours go in chest, hips, out chest. Chest in, hips, exhale, chest, exhale. Make it a count of 3. In chest, 2, 3. In hips, 2, 3. Pause. Out hips, 2, 3. Out chest, 2, 3. Pause. 2, 3. In chest, 2, 3. In hips, 2, 3. Out hips, 2, 3. Out chest, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Last. In, 2, 3. In hips, 2, 3. Out hips, 2, 3. Out chest, 2, 3. Pause. 2, 3. Normal breathing. The body completely at ease. Just staying exactly where you are. And very softly, without effort, the inhale is 4. And the exhale is 6. If it's too much, the inhale is 3. And the exhale is 5. Let it be soft. Don't try to put the breath anywhere in the body. Just letting it in and sending it out.
And just do that one more time. And then allowing your breathing to be free and the body to be completely at rest. That the stress of your week has left your body. And that we are open to receive great guidance, great health, great ability. That my greatest parenting exists in this vast sensation of possibility. And I love and admire my aspiration, and I recognize that it causes contraction over time. And that I am in command of releasing that contraction and finding a much greater source of intelligence and ability in this opening. You have power as you take action, and you have power as you release. And just give it 30 more seconds. Complete ease in the body. We have all accumulated 12 weeks of concern and uncertainty in our bodies. The work you do right now, releasing that, it serves everyone you know. It serves everyone you come into contact with. Keep releasing that. Keep coming back. See if we can stay open. And the more that you do this practice, the more familiar you become with this new neutral space of freedom in your body, the more you'll notice when you're tensing and closing and moving away from it. For right now, for the last moment, see if you can stay open. And consider our last few weeks as I read this to you. It's called Stay. I know how your mind rushes ahead, trying to fathom what could follow this. What will you do? Where will you go? How will you live now? You will want to outrun the grief. You will want to keep turning toward the horizon, watching for what was lost to come back, to return to you and never leave again. For now, hear me when I say all you need to do is to still yourself, is to turn toward one another, is to stay. Wait and see what comes to fill the gaping hole in your chest. Wait with your hands open to receive what could never come except to what is empty, what is hollow. You cannot know it now, cannot even imagine what lies ahead, but I tell you, the day is coming when breath will fill your lungs as it never has before. And with your own ears, you will hear words coming to you, new and startling. You will dream dreams, and you will see the world ablaze with blessing. Wait for it. Still yourself. Stay. Curling onto your right side, draw your knees up. If you like, hands under the right side of your head a moment, and just breathe more deeply into the back of your body, reinflating front and back. And really pausing before rolling up to a seat without rush, without hurry, without haste, bringing with you only what you choose. To find your seat, to sit up tall, heart high, sweep one time, hands wide and tall, palms together, thumbs to your forehead center. Wait for it. In this stillness, stay. May it serve you and those you love. Namaste. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you have questions. Thank you so much. And may the ball and that practice serve you over and over and over. On both on my website and on the Instagram, I will put up the books that were the inspiration. There'll be more information there. There'll be more sequences there if you choose. Again, thank you so, so much. That we just released opens the diaphragm. The end of June, the last Friday in June, we'll have a workshop on the breath. 3 simple practices for 3 simple purposes. July, I will have mantra. 3 mantras for 3 purposes. In August, we'll have meditation. 3 small meditations for 3 purposes. I want you to have a toolbox that you can use and apply to your life in the simplest of means, in the simplest of moments. This is when it's needed. So sign up as ever, reserve your spot so I know who's coming, who to look for. It's all donation based. Which means more than you know. I will see you in June. I will see you in July. I will see you in August. And I will see you tomorrow at 9:30. Namaste.